So I went to go see the Bob Marley movie on last night. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I liked it because it showed, Marley as who he was, you know what I'm saying? Like he was a revolutionary and a prophet on the mic. His his music was powerful. He could unite people. They didn't like that. Um he understood who he was. He was tapped into his culture, spirituality, the Rastafarian and all that they had beliefs in. Um he just didn't make music just to be making music, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he did it all for feel. Like he tapped into a certain frequency, you know what I'm saying? He knew that frequency was going to flow. He said music is like water. You know what I'm saying? He understood that we're energy beings. He understood that the right frequency, the right sound, the right message, you know what I'm saying, will do certain things to people, you know what I'm saying, move them in certain ways, positive ways. Like if you understand and look at videos of how they do experiments with certain different frequency, hertz, and tones with sand and water, but mainly water because they know that we're mainly made out of water, you know what I'm saying? So it creates certain patterns and situates certain moves and stuff. But yeah, I liked it, the movie overall. I heard his kids had played a big part in making sure that they didn't, you know what I'm saying, get off track of how, the narrative of him, you know what I'm saying, how they like to do, they like to exploit us melanated people as, these certain ways, you know what I'm saying, to the rest of the world, negative ways, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you check out that, that green that represents the land, that sun that represents the earth, and that red that represents, you know what I'm saying, the blood, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's get into these videos of how he really died and, a little bit about Bob.
Alright, man. Y'all go ahead and keep thinking I'm telling y'all BS. Now I'm telling y'all something. I'm telling y'all something based off extensive research. Nothing else. Told y'all this is exactly what happened. I don't understand why we did it, but I do understand why it was done. For those of y'all who don't know why it was done, that's what y'all got me for. Let's go. 1978, Bob Marley began to fight for peace and political change in Jamaica. From 1974 to 1980, Jamaica was rifled with political violence. Things linked between the two parties, Democratic Socialist People's National Party and the conservative Jamaican Labour Party. 1978, while this political violence and gang attacks were still happening, Bob Marley, in his fight against political violence and Jamaican peace, his voice was strong enough for these gangs to come together for peace talks. They didn't like that. And the result of those peace talks were a One Love Peace concert in Kingston. So he was making insane progress. And during this concert, he summoned Michael Manley of the PNP and his opponent, Edward Siega, both to the stage, clapped both of their hands, and raised them as a signal of peace. No, he wasn't trying to bring together both sides, PNP and JLP, but he was trying to rekindle the thought of a new Jamaica. No matter which side you belong to, the mindset and the process is a new Jamaica, and that's the first thing that we have in store. That's what he wanted. They didn't like that, and they didn't like that his word was so powerful and that he could just unite people as quickly as he did. But they did what they had to do. Y'all go ahead and let me know what y'all think in the comments.
It honestly blows my mind how nobody's talking about this. The truth about Bob Marley. Bob Marley was a singer back in 1977. For those who don't know, he died in 1977 from a type of cancer in his big toe. But here's when things get crazy. He didn't get cancer from a natural way. An ex-CIA agent actually literally admitted to giving Bob Marley cancer. Here's how the whole story went. A fan approached him at a concert and offered him a pair of boots as a gift. And of course, Bob Marley, being the peaceful man that he was, accepted the gift. And the fan insists that he tried them on, so he put them on, and then he said, "Ouch, my brother!" Because there was a needle inside the boots that pricked his big toe. And back then, in the time, him and his family didn't think anything of it. They just thought it was some random spike. But guess what? Years later, that same big toe that got poked was the same big toe that got diagnosed with cancer, which is what caused his death. All he wanted to do was spread love. But follow me for more. Let's get
And then the American tour was canceled because Bob was having problems with his toe.
Somebody stepped on it with their spike boots. And then it started to get infested because Bob would still play football the next day on it. And the next day.
And that went on for some time before they realized what it really was.
They came up with the definitive diagnosis of melanoma.
And they tested and they found out that that was more like a white person sort of sickness. It wasn't coming from a black source. It was the whiteness in him that allowed it to get this bad.
What did they recommend he should do about it?
They recommended disarticulation at the hip. In other words, remove the
He
entire
still
leg.
had the neuromelanin in him. His mom
doctor in
passed down
England
the
told him to cut his
mitochondrial
whole
E
leg
gene.
off.
He could have
Do you remember that?
holistically, naturally took care of that.
Had to cut off his toe. It was definitely not his leg.
A lot of people told Bob that once you cut your toe off, your big toe especially, you won't be able to dance anymore.
He loved football. So I think the thought of having his toe amputated was just unacceptable to him.
That was
So this
scary
other doctor
from looking into
who
real
saw in
health.
Miami said, no, it's not necessary.
You should have
You
went
can
to a
just take
holistic
off
doctor.
a portion
Somebody
of it.
who understands our
You don't have to
bodies
remove
and
the whole
knows
toe.
our
You can
bodies.
just take off the whole nail bed and, it wouldn't be necessary.
He got very bad advice for the people that was around him.
Yeah, he did. Man could have still been living, yo.
This is Bob Marley's father, Norval Marley.
You like when you call him Captain? Yes, but his name is Norval. I met him right there in 9 Mile. And then as a white man in the district, always ride his horse and things like that. He and my father becomes good friends. Then at that time, he see this little girl, and I guess he liked her, and we finally get together, and that's how it happened.
How old was your sister when she met the captain?
She was, 16? Captain must
She was only 16.
in his 60s.
Man was in his 60s.
So he was an old man.
Yes.
Part of their nature. They love to have sex with our women, though. Young children. Young little girl.
My name is Peter Marley, and Bob Marley is my second cousin.
What did you know about Bob Marley's father?
He rode a horse most of the time. He was in the British Army. I think he was stationed somewhere in India in World War II when he got shell shot. I understand he drunk and that he lived what should I say, a full life.